You wake before sunrise inside the Roman imperial palace. Today, hundreds of servants are preparing the emperor's breakfast. Silver trays arrive carrying bread, fruit, and expensive wine. Every dish smells like wealth, power, and absolute luxury. But nobody allows the emperor to taste anything first. That dangerous privilege belongs entirely to you. You are the Roman emperor's official food taster. One careless bite could become your final meal. Because Rome's most powerful man has countless hidden enemies. Senators hate him, generals fear him, and relatives envy him. Any ordinary-looking meal could conceal a deadly political weapon. Your body stands between the emperor and that weapon. If the food is safe, the emperor continues ruling Rome. If it is poisoned, you discover the truth personally. There are no laboratories capable of testing your blood. There are no emergency doctors carrying modern antidotes. There is only your tongue, stomach, and terrified imagination. Welcome to the worst dining job in ancient Rome. Romans called an official food taster a pregustator. Wealthy households could employ tasters alongside other trusted servants. But serving an emperor made the position especially dangerous. Imperial politics transformed ordinary dinners into potential battlefields. Roman emperors possessed wealth beyond almost everyone around them. They also controlled armies, laws, appointments, and executions. That power created loyalty, but it also created enemies. A defeated rival could return carrying a hidden grudge. An ambitious relative might secretly desire the imperial throne. Even trusted palace servants could potentially accept a bribe. Poison offered conspirators something a sword could not provide. It could make murder resemble sudden illness. Ancient medicine often struggled to identify the true cause. Fever, stomach pain, and vomiting had countless explanations. A successful poisoner might disappear before suspicion became proof. So emperors surrounded every meal with elaborate security procedures. Your working day begins long before the emperor appears. Supplies enter the palace through guarded service entrances. Grain, vegetables, meat, and wine come from different suppliers. Every hand touching them creates another possible security weakness. A farmer could contaminate the ingredients before delivery. A merchant could alter them somewhere inside the city. A kitchen worker could add something during food preparation. A server could poison the dish moments before presentation. Even the emperor's drinking cup might become a weapon. Therefore, trusted officials monitor the food through multiple stages. Yet trust inside the palace is always dangerously temporary. Yesterday's loyal servant could become today's desperate conspirator. Your position requires more than simply eating random leftovers. You must observe the dish before tasting it. You examine its color, texture, smell, and visible ingredients. Unfortunately, many ancient poisons were difficult to identify reliably. Some substances could be hidden inside strongly flavored sauces. Roman cooks loved powerful herbs, spices, wine, and garum. Garum was a salty sauce produced from fermented fish. Its intense flavor could overwhelm something strange within the meal. Wine could also conceal unpleasant tastes and unusual smells. Honey might disguise bitterness inside desserts or medicinal drinks. This means your senses provide only limited protection. Eventually, observation ends and the real test begins. You take a bite while several officials carefully watch. Then you swallow and wait for something terrible. But poison does not always act immediately. Some dangerous substances can require hours before symptoms appear. Waiting several hours would leave the emperor extremely hungry. Rome cannot pause government for every suspicious plate. So palace routines must balance caution against practical reality. You may taste several dishes during one enormous banquet. Bread seems harmless until you remember poisoned flour exists. Roasted meat seems safe, but sauces create another opportunity. Fruit could be injected, coated, or deliberately contaminated. Wine passes through containers controlled by several different people. Even clean water cannot be trusted without supervision. Every course becomes another uncomfortable experiment involving your organs. If you remain standing, servants carry the dish forward. The emperor watches your face before touching his meal. A nervous expression might make him reject everything immediately. Unfortunately, you are nervous during every single meal. Looking frightened could make you appear suspicious or incompetent. Looking relaxed requires acting while imagining your own funeral. Suppose your stomach suddenly begins making an unusual sound. Was it poison, spoiled food, or ordinary Roman digestion? You cannot interrupt dinner each time your stomach complains, but ignoring real symptoms could kill both you and him. Your job therefore demands an almost impossible judgment. You must recognize danger without possessing reliable scientific knowledge. Roman writers described many substances associated with deliberate poisoning. Plants, minerals, and animal compounds all entered ancient medicine. The difference between medicine and poison was often dosage. Skilled preparers understood combinations ordinary servants could not recognize. Imperial Rome also remembered several famous poisoning accusations. But ancient accusations were frequently shaped by political propaganda. A sudden death encouraged rumors, especially inside imperial families. The most famous example involved Emperor Claudius in AD 54. Ancient accounts claimed poisoned mushrooms helped cause his death. Some blamed his powerful wife, Agrippina the Younger. They alleged she wanted Nero to inherit the throne. However, modern historians cannot conclusively prove the poisoning story. The surviving accounts were written within hostile political traditions. Claudius may instead have died from natural illness. But palace workers could not depend on future historical analysis. They had to react while the emperor was collapsing. Claudius reportedly employed a food taster named Halotus. Later writers placed Halotus inside the dramatic poisoning narrative. Some suspected the taster helped deliver the fatal dish. Yet, Halotus was never conclusively proven responsible. The new emperor, Nero, apparently allowed him to survive. He may even have continued serving within imperial circles. That reveals another terrible truth about your position. You are not only exposed to poison yourself, you could also become the perfect suspect afterward. If the emperor dies, officials need somebody to blame. The cook claims the ingredients were completely safe. The server claims nobody touched the finished plate. The supplier insists every mushroom was carefully inspected. Then everyone slowly turns and looks directly at you. You tasted the dish and somehow remained alive. Perhaps you knowingly tasted from the safest section. Perhaps an accomplice placed poison beneath the emperor's portion. Perhaps you received an antidote before entering the dining room. These accusations require little evidence during a palace crisis. Fear and politics can produce a convenient confession. Roman interrogation could involve imprisonment, torture, or immediate execution. Your innocence would not guarantee a fair investigation. Powerful officials might sacrifice you to protect themselves. Surviving the meal could still lead to your death. Now, imagine the emperor becomes increasingly paranoid after an assassination. His security procedures suddenly become harsher and more complicated. Every servant begins spying on every other servant. Kitchen workers are searched before entering controlled areas. Ingredients may be locked away beneath official supervision. Cups and plates remain guarded until the final moment. You must taste more portions and wait much longer. One minor illness now looks like attempted imperial murder. If you sneeze, the emperor may abandon the entire banquet. If you hesitate, guards may assume you know something. If you refuse a dish, you challenge imperial authority. If you eat confidently, you might swallow hidden poison. There is no completely safe decision available to you. Leaving the position may not be simple either. You possess intimate knowledge of imperial routines and security. Powerful rulers dislike servants carrying valuable secrets outside. Your promotion has quietly transformed into a golden cage. The palace feeds you, houses you, and controls you. Your family might benefit from your access to power, but one political change could destroy that protection overnight. A new emperor arrives with new servants and suspicions. Former palace insiders can quickly become dangerous loose ends. Even retirement might fail to remove the risk. And surviving repeated tastings could damage your health anyway. Ancient kitchens lacked modern refrigeration and food safety standards. Spoiled meat and contaminated water created ordinary illnesses. You could become sick without any assassin being involved. Yet everyone would immediately whisper the terrifying word, poison. So the famous imperial banquet was never simply dinner. It was security theater, political ritual, and controlled suspicion. The emperor displayed luxury while quietly fearing everyone nearby. You displayed loyalty by gambling with your own body. If nothing happened, nobody celebrated your successful performance. If something happened, you were either dead or accused. That is why you would never survive this job. In imperial Rome, every meal could become your execution.